This is Little Kim and Notorious B.I.G. Final chapter exposed by Little C's is deep. You feel me? I'll probably put this on Tanisha Got Bangers too. Or I will probably put it on Tanisha Got Bangers. It depends. Alright. Or no.
He was the type of person to motivate you. He always wanted anyone to succeed. He always wanted everybody to have a better life for themselves. He was just hungry. He just wanted to make the album. If he could get 500,000 fans, he used to say, he happy.
Check me out right here, yo.
Damn.
We was like on our way to the parking lot, like waiting for the cars to come out. Our car came first, and we was waiting for Puffy's car to come. So when this car came, we all pulled out.
Big was in the front, C's was sitting behind Big, and I was like sitting behind the driver.
Car just rolled up on the right-hand side and just started shooting holes in the door.
Lil C's has finally admitted
Wow. That's how Pac was. You feel me? Because Pac was in the front seat on the passenger side. So Big was the same way? Whoa. And Little C's was in the back seat? Oh, twin.
wrong about Lil Kim. If you know their history, you already know this is major. For years, Kim got painted as the villain. After Biggie passed, people acted like she was fake, like she switched sides, like she wasn't really there for him. But truth is, she was probably one of the only ones who really had his back, even after he was gone. Meanwhile, Cease and the rest of Junior MAFIA were out here feeding the story that made her look bitter and phony. And that version stuck. The media ran wild with it, fans believed it, and Kim got left out of Biggie's legacy in a major way. Now Cease is finally speaking up. He admitted he played a role in how Kim was painted and said she deserves way more credit for what she did for Biggie when he was alive and after he passed.
You know, just how did it feel to finally put that behind you? Because y'all is, like you said, it might not be your blood sister, but that's your sister.
I knew her before I knew Big. You know what I'm saying? I knew Kim before I knew Big. That's why the situation was so, that's why it lasted so long, because it was so personal. And it's not about nothing with court shit, none of that shit. We're not going to even address that, but it's nothing to do with that. My apology was I wasn't a good brother to her. I made some wrong moves, some bad mistakes, and that was just the perfect time to do that. You know, I didn't plan that. We was all having a great time, and and I just know the comfort she needed because I know her. And I wanted to do that. I wanted to let her know that. I wanted to.
But Lil Kim was with Biggie Smalls before Faith Evans, right? I heard that B.I.G was with Lil Kim before Faith Evans, or was like, I don't know how true that is, but yeah.
All the people around knew that. You know what I'm saying? And I just felt like that's what I wanted to do, and she deserved that. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times, when Big died, she held me down. And I wasn't acknowledging that the way I was supposed to. And then we had other little situations that kind of separated us, and other people that separated us, and we was too stubborn. People just let us on, and and we just let God work. And God worked, and one day she hit me, and we talked like nothing ever happened. And she had a plan that she wanted to do this dinner. She said she wanted to put Big Heart back together, and putting his heart back together was getting all his peoples together. And we all got together, you know what I mean? Me, her, the whole Junior Mafia, D-Rock, and C Gutter. He was locked up for 16 years, so he was home to be there for that. Rube, just our whole team, like everybody that we started with was at that dinner. So I felt like that was the appropriate time to do it, and I needed to do that for her, and I wanted to do it for her. You know what I'm saying? I just felt like that was a great time, and that's my sis for life. Just because we had a little falling out, the love was still there on both sides.
So let's break down exactly what C said, why it matters, and how Kim was really the one keeping Biggie's legacy going when everyone else turned their backs. To get why Cease's apology really matters, you gotta know how deep the drama between them ran. After Biggie's death in '97, things got messy fast. Junior MAFIA, the crew Biggie built with Kim and Cease, started to fall apart. People picked sides, money ran dry, and egos got loud. But the real fallout hit in 2005 when Kim got wrapped up in that federal case. She went to prison for perjury, for lying to a grand jury about a 2001 shootout outside Hot 97 involving her people. And that's when everything truly broke between her and
Oh,
Cease.
Kim was found guilty of lying to a federal grand jury during the investigation of a shooting outside a New York radio station. Prosecutors say she made up most of her eyewitness testimony about a 2001 fight outside Hot 97. The shooting broke when Little Kim's entourage crossed paths with a rival rap group, injuring one man. Little Kim now faces up to 20 years.
Kim ended up getting sentenced to 1 year in prison, plus 30 days of home detention once she got out, and 3 years of probation after that. She did her time at the Federal Detention Center in Center City, Philly, and walked out on July 3rd, 2006. But this is where things really heat up, because this is when Lil Cease's name got dragged into the mix. See, Cease actually testified against Lil Kim at her trial. Yeah, he really did that. But later,
how you gonna testify against your sister, bro? That's supposed to be your sis, bro. Oh,
he tried to spin
no.
it, saying the media blew it out of proportion. He claimed it wasn't as serious as people made it seem. According to him, it wasn't that deep. Just the fact I was on the stand made it look shady. C swore up and down that he didn't get Kim locked up. He said there wasn't anything he could have said that would have kept her from doing time. She wasn't in a situation where me saying something would send her away. Then he kind of shifted the blame, saying maybe folks around her made it seem worse, or maybe Kim felt betrayed just because of the whole vibe of the trial. He even said, I felt like she had chances to do things differently, and she didn't. But nobody from Mafia, not me or anybody else, said anything that got her sent away. Cease claimed Kim would have gone down anyway because she lied under oath. Simple as that. But from Kim's perspective, Cease stepping into that courtroom was way deeper than just telling the truth. That move felt like the ultimate betrayal. Not just of her, but of Biggie's legacy too. After everything they'd been through, after all the loyalty Kim had shown, Cease taking that stand cut deep. He might have said he was just being honest, but in hip-hop, especially back then, testifying in court was seen as a no-go. That was a line you just didn't cross.
Right.
After everything
It's called, like, I think it was called snitching or something. I don't know.
went down, Kim didn't just fall back. She cut Junior Mafia off completely. She made it loud and clear she wasn't rocking with Lil Cease at all. The silence between them lasted for years. Cease tried to clear his name in interviews, but Kim wasn't trying to hear it. To her, it was simple. He sold her out. But the media, they mostly backed Cease. Kim got labeled as bitter, hard to work with, and stuck in the past, even though she was the one who sat behind bars. Cease, on the other hand, got to float around acting like he was just being honest, even though what he said helped put Kim in prison. So yeah, their beef wasn't just some petty fallout, it ran deep. This was about loyalty, respect, and how women, especially black women, always end up catching the blame while others come out clean. But then came a moment nobody expected. In 2019, things started to shift. Kim hosted a tribute dinner for Biggie's birthday, and the energy in that room, powerful. Everybody who meant something to Biggie was there, including all the old Junior Mafia members. And that's when Lil Cease stepped up and did something real. He got on that mic and publicly apologized to Kim. He told to him, and he meant it.
I genuinely apologize. I love you from the bottom of my heart. You like one of my, you are my sister. You're not a real sister, but you my sister.
God is good.
For life. And I love you for bringing this energy here, right?
God is good.
I mean that from the bottom of my heart, though. For real.
Yeah, Steve. God is good. He's real.
Oh yeah, I want to say that to you for years.
It takes a real man to admit when he's done wrong. You feel me? It takes a real man. You feel me?
Kim later opened up to Vibe magazine about that night. She said it couldn't have happened at a better time. It's been a long time since we've all been together on his birthday or done anything like that, she said. For me, it was a spiritual awakening. This was his heart. Mending Big's broken heart meant putting all of us back together, head to toe. Fast forward again. C showed even more emotion in a recent interview. He got real talking about how he hadn't been a good brother to Kim. He even shared that after Biggie died, Kim let him crash at her place when he had nothing, and that hit people hard because even with all the betrayal and pain, Kim still showed love to her people when they needed her most. Lil Cease's apology, it flipped the whole narrative. Fans started looking at the situation with new eyes, like, wait a minute, maybe Lil's Kim was done dirty this whole time. Maybe folks were too quick to throw dirt on her name, and her side of the story had been ignored.
People don't look for the facts. They place judgment on a person before they know the whole details. That's crazy.
For way too long. Now let's get into what Lil Kim really did to keep Biggie's name alive, even when it felt like the world was trying to push her out the picture. From the jump, Kim never stopped honoring Big.
Well, happy 50th. Happy Biggie 50th. One thing about little Kim, she gonna ride for some B.I.G.
That's right.
And I'm so happy to see everybody here. I mean, the whole family. Tiana, CJ, you know, you guys are my heart.
Go back and listen to her album. She's always name-dropping him, shouting him out, dedicating tracks to his memory. On her second album, The Notorious K.I.M., there's a tribute that hits deep. It's a track with Mary J. Blige called Hold On, and it's all about the pain of losing Biggie. Kim pours her soul into it, saying the grief hurt as bad as giving birth. And if you've ever seen the footage of Kim breaking down at Biggie's funeral, you know every word was real. And on that same song, Kim doesn't hold back. She even calls out.
I will leave a link in the description below. But if you want me to check out that song from Little Kim, I will. Featuring Biggie Smalls. I will leave the link in the description below. Make sure you go check out Urban Bars. You feel me? I will leave his link in the description below. Yeah.